Fox jeans can't possibly be beat.
Ballsy. Really ballsy.
Isn't it? That's a move. Isn't it?
I believe I'm the first arm wrestler to wear pink.
Whatever.
Have we finally got them used to the fact that Americans arm wrestle in jeans? That we're not arm wrestling in spandexy
It's
workout
actually,
pants.
I think you'll find, John, but it is illegal. Arm wrestling jeans. It'll be banned. Bow off. That's how it is. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm used to saying welcome to the fix, but not tonight. We are here. We are live on the Arm Wars channel. Welcome to Istanbul. Well, welcome to this bedroom, which is actually in Pendik, which used to be a little pet name that my wife gave to me. But enough about that. I'm joined on the sofa by two of the greatest to ever do it. Wearing the Sammy Fox 1980s cut-off porno jeans with a black leather jacket is Andrew COBRA RHODES, Armwrestling Legend 101. Maybe the first man to get a little bit of breakout fame at the WAF back in the, when did you kick it off, mate? Like 88?
88, 89, I don't remember.
88,
a while ago.
89. So probably been arm wrestling longer than a lot of you guys watching may have been alive.
Well, he had a spot in Over the Top. What are you talking about? Well, we can rewind even earlier than that. He
Was that 86, 7?
Yeah, he was big screen then. Referee, weren't you?
Yes.
I don't know.
I didn't know how to
I don't know.
at the time.
Details.
You got
Details.
yourself in there.
Show business. It's Holly weird.
Sat next to COBRA RHODES is the man who is undisputed, unarguably, universally recognised as the greatest arm wrestler of all time. And if you don't know, his name is BRZENK. Ladies and gents, we're going to talk about a legendary arm wrestling event that is coming up. I want to ask you guys a few questions, lads, about the scope, the magnitude of this event. There's been promotions come and go. Promoters who have come and gone. Engin Terzi has created something quite special here, hasn't he? I think the East versus West is quite a unique.
Seems to be self-sustaining, right? It keeps getting bigger and bigger and better, and he keeps wanting to redo it. So it looks like it's feeding on itself. It's getting
like a morel mushroom. Keeps coming back.
Now, for those who out there who don't know, Engin Terzi was obviously an obsessed arm wrestler. Probably the most obsessed arm wrestler.
He was a badass.
Yeah. An incredibly obsessive personality trait. The man couldn't let go.
The Angry Turk.
And he's throwing all that venom into this promotion. And it's fair to say that the gathering of legends that he's brought together for this specific event is pretty unique. Andrew, start with you, mate. You've been around this game forever. Do you think you've ever been in a collective like this?
At the top end, no. This is definitely the most powerful arm wrestling event that I've attended. Minus my participation.
Well, here we go. You're back in the mix.
I was going to say what's so unique about this is that it's East versus West. I mean, it's the East and the West, the best of the East and West. I mean, yes, we've seen a little bit of that in the Nemiroff. There's a lot of tours, but a lot of interleague arm wrestlers. But it's typically always just been the Eastern Pole.
You see between the participants. I mean, let's start with you again.
Hold on a minute. No, that room until folks will be back on.
I think we should be. Feels really normal to me. Because my internet sometimes is terrible at home. This is quite a familiar feeling. It's like, we're back. We're good. Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you tuning in to one of my shows, you'll realise that the internet is often shite. It's good to see that it's consistent here. You left us at a very poignant moment. Mr. RHODES was just about to share a little story, mate. You want to pick that up?
Yeah, I was taking my son Jackson, little training sessions that he's going to pick up Jackson. And he started talking to me. He said, COBRA, I know you haven't trained in X amount of years, but I want to bring you up and I'll soften the ass whipping and make it a Legends match with Haydar is our first world champion from Turkey. And
so that's the guy that Andy's going to pull, lads. Haydar Gildil, multiple European and world champion, Turkish national champion, a real legend of his nation. He's coming back into this match as well. So it's two guys with genuine pedigree at world level who haven't competed in a number of years. Quite an exciting concept.
And my son was getting into the vehicle as Ingan was going through this. And I said, well, let me think about it. And then I started driving to the house. And I asked my son, I said, what do you think about that if I tried to arm wrestle? And he said, Dad, don't do it. And I said, why? Why are you so quick to say don't do it? And he said, well, all my life I hear all people talk about you, this great arm wrestling thing, and all my life you never went to a world championships or anything that these people are talking about. And it just it just hit me. And I was like, I'm going to show this kid that I can do things. I said, well, I'm going to do it though. If you don't think I can do it, then I got to prove you wrong, show you what a human can do, even if they're old and crusty like myself. And he said, Dad, if you're going to do it, and you're telling me, he's like my parent at this point. He said, if you're going to do it, and you're telling me that you're going to do it, then I'm going to hold you accountable, just like you hold me accountable for school and my sports. And that was like a punch in the throat, you know? So I've been doing a couple little wrist curls and asking people about arm wrestling and paying attention to what's going on and trying to learn a little bit about the sport. Again, I feel like right now I really feel like a rookie. And then I'm watching this guy chewing up the planet with his comeback, so that's just giving me more energy to do it, because I don't think it was like fully in my heart. It was more of an ego thing that my son was telling. You know, I got 99% of people telling me, oh, you this or that, and my own flesh and blood is telling me, dude, don't do it. You know, so now he's on board. He's like behind me, and once, you know, I'm missing 3 of his first 3 basketball games, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of his basketball season. So he's it's funny. I'll jump ahead 2 months. Last week he said, Dad, what's gonna happen if you get beat over there in Istanbul? Are you gonna quit, or is it gonna make you go harder? And I said, I don't know, but if I know anything about my gamesmanship, if I get beat, I'm going to come back twice as hard. He goes, well, then I hope you lose then. I said, really? He said, yeah, then you'll really be into it, and that's what you said. I said, well, I don't want to lose. And then he just flipped a switch, just like an ex-girlfriend, and goes, well, if you're going to miss 3 of my basketball games, you better not lose. So here I am, sitting beside the GOAT. That's the story of my life. I'm done. Mr. BRZENK, please. Why the hell did you get back into this?
We've got a super chat from Durko, 50 SEK, just says Legends.
Darko or Durko? You blind.
Darko. 50 SEK with a bunch of emojis.
Swedish krona, tack så mycket. Tack så mycket.
Darko, top man, thanks for your super chat, brother. Appreciate that.
Tackar.
Now I just want to keep that going a little bit, because, and I'm going to bring John in on this one. So when we were sat downstairs early on, you had a different look. You had the grey in there. Got sweetened up at the barber's today. Got the grey away. Shaved that old ass face. And I'm going to say tonight, when you came and sat down at that table in the restaurant, I thought, Jesus, you look 20 years younger. Can you wind the clock back on the arm wrestling table, and is it in you anymore? Do you know?
That's the $64,000 question. Well, I'll tell you that a lot of drive before Ingan even gave me that call, I was watching this guy. So I know the fire was there because I'm watching GOAT
Do his thing.
Yeah, I watched when he everything. I watch everything this guy does. He's like my arm wrestling hero, Johnny Walker and him. So I was feeding on that fire, but I didn't have the nuts to jump in a tournament and such. But after my son had that little father-son talk in reverse, I just knew that I was going to be in Istanbul, and now that man's going to say go on Saturday, and we'll know what time it is.
Now, John, we were chatting earlier on, and it always makes me smile whenever you say this, because you come back in, here we are, you're, what's the right way to put this? I don't want to say ascendancy, because you're already bloody there. You know what I mean?
Right.
But you are resurgent again. It's another chapter in your career, mate. And we looked across the room tonight at Oleg Petrenko. I've never seen that man look bigger, better, sharper, stronger. You're here in your late 50s.
You were sat 2 feet from him.
I sat across the table from him. Yeah. They put me next to him.
And you're, in many people, including my own, the favourite.
You think so, huh?
I think
Yeah,
so.
absolutely.
I don't think in arm strength,
I've got
but I think you've
a
got
lot
more
more time put into the sport. That's for sure.
package.
Yeah. So yeah, no, arm wrestling's a little different than everybody likes to think that it's pure strength. Well, yes, it is strength, but it's a long process to develop that framework, those tendons, those bones, those ligaments, and I've definitely got a lot of years put into the sport. So here I am in my late 50s, and most of that stuff is like riding a bike. It has stuck with me. Yes, the muscles go away. You have to get in somewhat better shape and the correct mindset to compete and deal with the pain issues as you get older. And that's probably the most limiting factor for me, is just the aches and pains of the brain saying, wait a minute, oh, that hurts, don't do that, don't push it there, don't commit your frame and twist your body like that because it aches. But yeah, no, it's the 35, 40 years into the sport is long lasting for sure.
And you said to me when we were sat down, I'm getting to that stage again where I'm not sure what the hell I'm doing here. But give me that balance. At what point do you start thinking to yourself, how far can I go? Because who the hell is worse than the minute you just pulled on Goliath, and now you're on to Petrenko. Yeah. You can't really go much higher.
Well, the balancing act for me right now is dealing with the pain. So what I'm used to doing in the past, as far as arm wrestling on a consistent basis, the training, not so much the strength aspect, but just going through the motions on the table. When it starts to hurt and counterproductive, then it becomes difficult to justify to continue to enjoy it and do it. So I have in the past shifted gears because of that fact and decided just not to really arm wrestle a whole hell of a lot, not to aggravate it, and try to just rest on my strengths from the past, from the experience and what I've built from the past. But so that's the frustrating part. It's not that I don't enjoy competing and don't feel like I'm at a competitive level. It's just that I feel like I'm cheating the sport by not being able to put what I feel is some pains.
And also at this time, you have, as myself, you have now grandchildren and other things.
I've got plenty of time for this sport.
Do you have it like
that?
that?
Yeah, no, I'm actually contemplating retiring. I might turn, I've got plenty of time for this sport. The sport's not really super time consuming, as you know. It's, I mean, if you have to be dedicated to it, but it's not like weight training where you can, spend hours in the gym on a daily basis. It's kind of, for me, it's always been a once a week, hour, 2 hours, plenty of stimulation for building that tendon strength. And then you just need to, rest, and you have to be patient, and it's a long process. So it's never been about lack of time. It's just the old age, the little aches and pains and injuries of pushing a little bit past your limits that eventually will catch up to everybody.
What motivates you at this stage in your career? Is it the oh my God, I'm pulling this incredible up and coming young freak?
It's still fun to test myself, and I still question myself all the time, even though I know I'm not the same guy or in the same shape or put the same amount of time in. I still am curious, I wonder, I still dedicate a lot of time to this sport. I have 35, 40 years of hardcore arm wrestling on a weekly basis, consistently forever. So it's just fun to think, is it still hanging on there a little bit somewhere, and when things are right, when everything aligns, the moon aligns correctly, and I have my days where I'm actually, can perform at a pretty decent level. So that always
that pretty decent level being above and beyond what anybody's ever done.
The thing that impressed me a lot about when John returned to mainstream arm wrestling was his first 3 super matches.
Yeah.
He went boom, boom, boom against non-weak guys,
Mm-hmm.
all studs, and it's just BRZENK, you know.
Well, that's always been my thing to use arm wrestling, whether it's competitive arm wrestling or practice, is as the building block for getting better. What other way to get better than be pulling, you know, in a competition situation against the top guys? You know, if I can handle it, if I'm not getting hurt, which I, you know, was able to survive, you know, I consider that the best training for the next super match. I mean,
Speaking of future super matches, we've just had a super chat from Chan Shaw. Excited to pull tomorrow. John, don't forget we have our rematch before we retire.
well, whenever he's ready, he's hope he's been training.
How much time do you need, Chance? He might be ready Tuesday.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
it.
we'll definitely have to do a rematch with Chance Shaw. I know he's gotten a lot better since our last match. What? It's almost been 2 years now, a year and a half, 2 years.
Frightening,
so
isn't it?
Don't see it not long ago.
seems
does
like
it?
it just the other day, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's frightening. That's flown by.
Where do you see the John BRZENK now of that John BRZENK, that first big comeback match?
I was probably years. I had a lot more excitement and newness and adrenaline flowing through my veins. I was definitely not as polished as I am now, a year and a half later. So I think I'm stronger. I'm more confident. I know exactly where I stand. I had absolutely no idea where I stood when I decided to pull Chance. I was completely going into that in the dark. So with each super match, I've gained more confidence
And a few more
and
pins.
ability. Excuse me.
And put a few more pins.
Yeah, but along with greater strength and more training comes the aches and pains, the issues, the shoulder. Mainly is what's just I just keep, if I push it too hard, I end up taking 3 steps back. So
Nobody could accuse you of swerving matches, mate. I mean, if you look at the guys you have pulled since you pulled Chance, and thank you, Chance, for the super chat, mate. Appreciate it.
Got another super chat from Brent H. Win or lose, what's next for the Goat and Cobra? What will we see in 2023? It's a poet, this guy as well.
Quite good.
well, for me, there's been talk about putting me up against Dennis Saplinkov. I guess he's decided he wants to arm wrestle again.
And that's exactly what I was just saying. You're not swerving. You've faced Devon Lara, you faced Ongabayev, you've faced Paul Lynn. Who else have you faced? Dimitri. You faced
Goodbye.
Zolov.
Yeah, Zola,
Zola,
and
yeah.
hammered him, which was like beyond impressive. I mean, that was beyond impressive. I was like, what the f? And then you went to the really big boys, and you were actually lined up to pull Michael again in that match. You were gonna pull those. So you went. The match with Corey was a great pull. Then you were going to go back into pull MMT. So, you know, you have pulled upper echelon lads. You've not swerved there. Now, potentially Dennis Saplinkov.
Dennis, yeah.
I mean, oh God. You want Ongabayev again, don't you?
Ungerbayev, I need a redo with Ungerbayev. I'm so close. I felt like I was actually there even that day. When you have a match like that and you leave thinking that was just a mental screw up, I felt like I was as strong, if not stronger, and I just want to, yeah. I think those are the ones you want to redo.
I just wanna
redo.
I want that ass one more time.
Well, it's good though that that's in you.
Yeah, but I know he's probably feeling the same way. He can improve and do something better. He knows me a little bit better now, and so we both have these thoughts going through our head like I can recalculate this and come up with a different outcome. So and we're very close. So that match will be fun for hopefully another even 5 years if I wanted it. So
I mean, that's amazing to think, you know, that 5 years and you could still be. I would love that to happen. If you were still banging away 5 years from now, and I'm hoping that's
2
the
years
case.
went by just like a blink of an eye just recently.
It really
I'm gonna be. Yeah.
If he goes for another 5 years, he'll probably be pulling 2 years longer than me.
Well, there's like 8 months in you guys, isn't there?
Right.
Age.
Yeah, 8 months. John's 8 months older than I am.
You ever thought about like wearing? Could you wear them? Do you think you could pull those jeans off?
No, never.
I mean, you can go with that. I ain't got the legs for it. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm still at my junior prom weight though. You know.
I mean, that's amazing.
Before we go into trouser talk,
Yep.
same question to Cobra was asked. Next year, 2003.
Who do you want? He's trying to get round. Does he want?
I'm trying to.
Ask me on Saturday night. He wants to know who you want to pull next.
What's installed for Cobra
Oh,
2023?
I'm pulling my pud. I'm gonna try to get through this match, and hopefully I'm not beat up because I prepared the way that I prepared, as I told you what I did. I haven't touched a hand. I think there's one thing that I might be totally off base, but I've always felt, even though I haven't been that active, that I always think that I might not be the strongest or something. I think I know how to arm wrestle really good.
Yeah.
Better than most guys. So I always, I have that little ego thing, which ego is something that can destroy you, really. But I think it. I get through that. Of course, that's going to make me want bigger fish. You know, I think, in my mind now, I think by July, BRZENK's birthday, I could be the kingfish at 80 kilos in the open. I think if I put in the time. But if I get my ass whipped here, I don't know where I'm going to be. You know, I've got another film to do next year in March in the Philippines. We're going to be shooting for about a month and a half. So there's going to be some little things and...
You can find arm wrestlers everywhere though now. There is plenty of arm wrestlers.
Yeah, but not if I suck. If I suck, I'm not trying to find the arm wrestlers. I haven't locked up hands in the preparation for this because I believe that I'm good enough. I've just been getting the tools ready to take from people.
Yeah.
And if I can take from them, I believe I know how to finish them, you know. I'm not the flashing Cobra anymore.
Imagine what a
that.
story that'd make, though. You know, if you could come back, if you wanted to come back.
Oh, I do want to.
And you did go right up that mountain again. That's something to leave behind, isn't it? Do you feel there's a story still to be told, Andrew? Do you want it?
There's always a story to be told. You know, like John said, if the moon is aligned with the stars and the age of Aquarius is on my side, and I don't screw up, I might go up there on stage and suck Saturday. You know?
Is it sucking? If you go up there, is it though? I mean, it's not like you're pulling a bum. It's not like you're pulling a guy who's not experienced. And you don't know, I don't know, Heido's level of activity of recent times. I don't know. Maybe he's been...
But I know he just won the Grand Masters or something at WAF.
What if he's been pulling regularly with it? I mean, is the team of savages over here in Turkey?
Yeah.
You don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe he's not active on the competitive circuit.
Indian could have given me a soft sell.
You don't know.
Who knows? But I tell you what, I got a little pee-pee when I saw him enter today, and I looked at his triceps, and I was like, "What do you mean he hasn't been?"
He looks conditioned.
Yeah, he looks conditioned. So I mean, it's arm wrestling, man. When the ref says go,
we all know those are muscles for show, not for go.
Yeah, but he was never that big, bulky guy. He was a pretty quick and slick arm wrestler. I mean, when we pulled at Worlds in 2000, Virginia Beach, those matches were quite quick, and he used to be quite quick with everyone else but me. So I don't know. I haven't been stalking. I haven't been stalking anybody. The guy I watched when I started really watching arm wrestling was 2 years ago when it's like I heard, "Oh, John BRZENK's coming back." I said, "What the fuck? What?" And then I started watching, and I'm like,
It takes time. It takes time.
"Yeah, oh, I believe
So
it."
don't be discouraged if you don't do well this Saturday, because if you even making your comeback, 5 months isn't long enough. 6 months isn't long enough. I mean, what you did in the last 5-6 months will show itself next year probably.
Yeah,
I mean, tendencies
it's been,
just take time to.
That conversation happened like
really harden up again.
10, 12 weeks ago when I made the decision, and then it took a couple weeks to really say to myself, "Are you gonna grab that 20-pound dumbbell and get your fingers at least right?" Because I have this thing in my head that if I close my hand on some problem, I don't care how weak or strong I am, I know angles, I know how to arm wrestle. And I was never the strongest arm wrestler in my class. It looked like it to the crowd, baby, but I was, if Picasso was an arm wrestler, I was painting.
Now,
on their heads, you know?
if you look at and chart the recent walk into this match, how much time have you really had to focus on it and to get yourself prepped? Proper focus.
The way that I get,
When I'm feeling like I'm pretty well healed up, rested, but every once in a while I'll make that sudden movement to do something that's like, oh, still hurt.
I can't make head or tail of this. This is saying that we're good. We're back.
We're back. Lovely darts.
I think we're back. We're just there's a delay on the time though, but we're back.
Not a problem.
yes, we are.
So, we were just talking about, obviously there's such a thing, John was just talking about the situation mentally. I mean, I've had it coming into this and I'm only commentating and announcing, but I've not been a well man. I mean, only 2 weeks ago I coughed so hard I sucked my pants up my own ass. That's what I'm dealing with. It's okay. We can put it together on the night. They weren't jeans like that though. They're unsuckable. Those, because you've got vents in the front, so he's taken that precaution. But joking aside, you were in pretty bad shape pulling on Gobayev. By all accounts.
Yeah, I had a little, I don't know, COVID/pneumonia. I don't think it affected my performance with Armwrestling. I mean, when I decided arm wrestling, actually looking back, I've sometimes perform actually better when I'm feeling a little
Touch of AIDS.
weak and doubtful. Yeah, I seem to move a little quicker. Like there's a level of urgency where I have to hit a little harder, and I can't be showboating and doing
Or when you're
proving strength, ability with when you're a little cold going on. But
what I saw when you were pulling the young man from Shadada was in that first match, the fire in you that excited me because you sent a message. You sent one of those messages with. I don't know if you realize you did it, but you sent a message.
Oh, that first pin.
In that first pin.
Well, and I always you always kind of question or second guess what happened after that. Was it him? Was it me? Because I've thought about this a lot in the past that when you're successful, when you're a dominant, you toned it down a little bit. I don't know if you ever did doing it a lot. Like,
yes, you do.
I just want to,
Feel something.
give a little rope out, see if I can just really, make this.
Yeah.
And sometimes it bites you.
Yes. Yeah, the guy drives his shoulder in there or something. You're like,
Oh,
yes. Yeah. Let him back in. But like you say, it's more about the moment. You want it to be that good match. You want it to be entertaining.
Right.
And you've definitely seemed more and more conscious of that.
Right. I try to be. I know how boring arm wrestling can be and what's so decisive one way or another like that. And I've always wished I could be that arm wrestler that was a little bit more entertaining in that respect. That is the Michael Todd that can fight for minutes and people are cheering, getting up on the the edge of their seats to have you make some comeback. But it's never been my ability. Mine's always been the quick knockout. The quick.
You've been in some screamers though.
Yeah.
I mean, I always remember, Venice Beach with Jerry was a friggin' unbelievable match. Absolutely. I mean, Yoshi's run your goals close a couple of times. You made some screamers there.
He made Yoshi a soprano when he dropped that shoulder on him.
Yeah. Shot across. And
that's normally me making pulling back a little bit because normally if I'm winning a long match like that, I would have won a quick match. My expertise isn't the anything past 40-yard dash. If that race is lasting longer than that, and I end up somehow winning that race, I could have won a lot quicker normally.
So here's a question: the argument rages on around were the guys stronger back in the day? Were they comparable back in the day? COBRA and me sat down earlier on and he said, I think John is as strong as he's ever been, right now. But with you being such a package arm wrestler, a guy that uses such a skill set, wide skill set, and your explosivity used to be so high, would you agree with that comment?
No. I might be stronger in practice and slow pulling. My endurance has definitely gotten better. I'm a much stronger practice puller. I'm not the same explosive, hard hitting,
over the
punch in
100
the
meter
face. tournament puller that
The reason
that I was. Whether or not it's whether I was stronger or it's my brain, the mental factor,
That isn't
shutting
joining.
myself down because I feel pain. It's just
Yeah.
like I ease into things now when before it was like punch.
So what does that tell us? If, let's say, hypothetically, you go in Saturday night and you crack Petrenko, that version of Oleg Petrenko. I mean, wow.
Yeah.
Where the
And
hell?
in the past, I felt like even if I wasn't as strong as I am today, I could get that match over with quick enough just with a good aggressive out of the blocks hit. Saturday is going to be a completely different story because I'm going to have to
Keep him out of that leg.
somewhat ease into it because I don't practice it anymore. I'm just not able to even have that as an option to feel comfortable firing. I'm ready to go. It just hasn't been in the cards for many years now. So
I hear you.
Yeah,
That's where I've been. That's where I've been since I busted my back. That's where I've been.
But I've adapted. So
Yeah.
yes, maybe I am stronger than I've ever been.
Statically.
That might be true, but I would rather have the guy that got
You
the
want the
match
palm.
over,
James.
get the match over with before it starts.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let the guy
That
even
man just
use
said
it or know that he
He
has
might
the
be
strength.
stronger than he's ever
Do
been.
you think
You did say that.
do you think that the strength level in these top guys, the elite guys, is always sort of consistent to it to some extent?
Just before we answer that question, you can think about it. We've got a super chat from Phil Wood in UK. Always great to have a gathering of legends. P.S. Neil Pickup Seminar 2023. Hashtag Armwars for life. So are you doing a seminar?
I don't know. No,
So you're not telling me about?
no, I would have told you. Love. I would have told you. No, we don't get guinea pigs in a twist. No, we thank you, Phil. I hope you're well, brother. Absolutely loves it. Now, Andy, you just a moment ago. I hear you on the speed thing. It was always an acid weapon, and that thing of not necessarily fastest to the pad, but fastest to a position where you took it all. Do you feel like, have you played around with that? Is the fast twitch still there, which was such a weapon for you?
As I said, in preparation for this, I have not touched one hand.
Can you feel in other things in your life? Do you still feel like that?
Yeah, I can. I feel right now that I can close my hand. Now, of course, I don't have the confidence to go up and pull a bishop now, or who's my brother from Moldova,
Daniel?
young Daniel's son. But like I think when I was good, like a guy like Daniel was a layup line for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like no insult to him, and he's very talented, and I love to watch him and bull because he's got that pit bull attitude like a guy
He's
from
iron.
like a guy from Amos. You remember those guys used to catch me up, John inside. He's got that kind of thing. But I learned a lot about arm wrestling in my career. I think I'm one of the best arm wrestlers in the game, but I'm definitely not the strongest now. I don't think I was the strongest then. I might have looked strong to the crowd, but I was out arm wrestling guys on a different level.
Obviously, you're a chef, and you know that there's a lot of things that go into that recipe to make
Yes.
that dish come out right.
Absolutely.
How many of those are still there that you can rely on? Have you been just seeing if you've got that speed? You know, hitting the light switch and trying to get in bed before it goes dark.
Yeah. No, I leave that to Cassius, to Muhammad Ali. I'll leave that to Muhammad. But I have been practicing hits from good positions with no one, just little ghost
Just
hits. Because I think when I was good, I knew how to position my body to get it, which I've talked a lot about John back in the day in Amos when I used to get hung up with these guys, and John told me, you got to get your shoulders stronger. He'd like be laughing at me. You should be beating these guys. But I'd get in these 2-3 minute wars, right? And I'd end up
stretched out.
Yeah, I tried, and then I changed my training to getting in those same positions and having the nuts to get in there and finish them. And I became pretty good at it.
Is it trainable? Is that reaction time trainable?
Yeah.
Is it recoverable if it goes away? I don't know.
I believe I have that. I believe I have that reaction because just from some of the training that I do, working with the fighters, and playing ball, and hitting the bag, I've got the quick twitch. But do I have it against a strong guy? we're going to find out.
Well, it's like John said, isn't it? It's like, you know, I've had to evolve. I pull just differently than I have no option.
Yeah.
Maybe we see you evolve to something else.
Well, that's what I mean. This last whatever years, that's what I mean. When have you seen me flash a guy in the last 20 years? And think before that, 90% of
Yeah,
them
you
were
used to get
flashes.
into, I mean, even, bloody hell, even the, you know, Nicholas Armstad battle. Some of the stuff you got into in the WL series, like the 15, 16 tournament stuff, you were in some wars. Good stuff. It's entertaining, actually.
Yeah,
Very
yeah,
entertaining.
I get it, but I'm not. I mean, listen. In the last 20 years, the 20 tournaments I pulled in, if that many, where I was pulling when I was arm wrestling, I was probably getting in 80 weight classes in a year. It's a big difference from that. You know, like I said, I was T-Rex, and now I'm more like a Velociraptor. So I have to be a little. I'm smart. It's actually the injury made me a smarter arm wrestler.
Yeah.
Because I'm back to that survival mode that I was when I was 14.
Really?
Trying not to get pinned more than smashing someone.
Remarkable if you can come back and get it. And a lot of people would love to see it, I think. I mean, I know, you know, John talks about, maybe next year, I'll hang it up, maybe next year, I'll hang it up.
No, that went on for a while.
Nice.
I think he might be back.
Let's see, we're back.
We don't know whether we're alive.
We're not. Here we are.
Well,
Showtime.
Big Grove Goats, who's been a member for 7 months. I just need to find it again.
Big Grove Goats, some ombre, nice.
Three of my heroes right there. John is the greatest athlete of all sport, bar none. 40 years of domination. John, will you please go get some stem cells in Mexico and give us another 10 years of elite pulling? Can't wait until Saturday.
Yeah, I might take the plunge and give it a try. I've been skeptical, and like I said, I've read a little bit of stuff on stem cells, and I didn't want to be the guy that's all hopeful and fall into the latest greatest hype of something that's just hype. But yeah, I'm to the point where I'm definitely curious, and maybe I'll do it.
And that's good news for arm wrestling. If John BRZENK is thinking about something that you know what I mean? That means John BRZENK is into arm wrestling.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean, like I told you, we had the conversation, that excited me.
Everybody
Yeah,
wants,
still does.
everybody, you know, wants the fountain of youth, right? I mean,
Sure.
even in our 30s, we were looking for a way to get ourselves.
That's the funny thing, we were.
Turn
That's
it
what
back.
I'm thinking, I'm really bad. In fucking Poland in 2004, we were out there filming pulling Joe with scrap then.
Yeah.
You know, upstairs, oh God, my bloody wrist and my shoulder completely shagged, sat down, and here we are, 2022, late
Here we are.
22, yes, putting the band back.
You know, John, I used to see this guy when he was just a little kid at the shows
Yep,
over in Europe.
yeah, 19.
Just a little
Maybe,
bump.
maybe there'll be
1989.
some invention, right? It'll actually be
Hey.
a real fountain of youth here. Elon Musk will come up with something, some robotic thing that can go in there and repair.
Some
Repair all
stuff.
our
You
shit.
never do know. They're getting better at
Yeah,
all
yeah.
the things. But let's
kind
talk
of
about some of the guys we've seen here. I mean, we've had a day at the event now. Pretty much everybody's here, except maybe we'll not tell everybody just in case they haven't lost yet. One,
Yeah, my chat did it.
they've told about it.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah, I
so
had the
Prudnik
conversation.
missed his plane
I was going to say, I saw Matt Mass down in the bar. He's
with
here,
his new head of hair,
looking beautiful.
his mane.
Yeah.
So Matt's
A
here.
real Fabio.
I think he's been here all day, hasn't he, Matt? Whereas Prudnik,
Right.
at least he's got another day. And he's only in Belgium, I think, so
Yeah.
if he has to, we can swim him in. Not a problem.
Get the boat hanging.
Get the ball
In my last post on my channel, I have Devon and Prudnik talking to each other, FaceTime on Ingen's phone, while Prudnik's talking about, I'm not
Got
gonna.
his toenails.
Oh, bro, he doesn't look like Prudnik in the picture. He looks more like the kid Jack in The Shining.
Hey, I expect Super Prudnik to show up
Yeah.
tomorrow. I expect that guy will be in fine fettle. I really do. And talking of that, some of the guys we've seen today. I mean, let's talk about Hermes. Holy.
Forearm.
That's a big lad, isn't it?
Yeah. and he's going up against someone as big, if not bigger. Dave is looking bigger than I've ever seen him.
His hand,
His hand, his
Dave's
forearm
hand
is
felt,
huge.
it felt
It
ridiculous.
looks like he just got done arm wrestling. A ton of people are working out because he's like, what the hell? You're already.
Yeah.
There's no more room for any more blood in that.
Yeah.
He literally did. He literally fits
It
a
was gonna
burst.
pop.
Iron Dick.
Literally ridiculous. Now, we spoke to Dave earlier on a little bit. For those on the channel, members on the channel, you'll get to see these interviews. They'll be up very soon. We spoke about Dave's mental state, Dave's resurgence again, the fact that he took a couple of arse kickings, and if anything, it's made him better. He's experimented with different techniques, and it's really helping him. You know, he's getting wins that from positions that you think, no way.
Yeah, because
There
we're
he
not
is.
used to seeing him make a move.
No, he's always been that one trick pony, pretty bloody good trick, but he was that one trick pony.
Pretty good trick.
Not now. Now we're seeing him transition.
We'll see. Let's hope he doesn't revert.
And he's going against the dragster of our sport right now.
And looking at that dude today was shocking. When he walked into the lobby, it was like, oh my God.
Hopefully, it doesn't take away from his hitting ability. I'm
Yeah.
talking about Hermes.
Yeah,
I mean, he's getting to the point where he's
Chunky
Yeah.
monkey. Yeah.
he's getting
yeah, large lad.
large.
I mean, today I said, what are you weighing? He's like, oh, I'm like 132 kilos right now. So after that food, probably 140 kilos because he pigged out a little bit. But he's huge, isn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, truly ridiculous. Who've you got? Yeah,
He's asking you, John.
he's bottled it. He's not having it. Who have you got? Out.
I'm gonna watch.
I'm gonna
Let's
say typical Dave fashion. Dave's hand and wrist are strong enough in the first two matches to either slip or get the straps, and then sweeps Hermes to the side. But then I'll say Hermes is strong enough that Dave struggles after the second, third round. I mean, historically, I mean, if Hermes is in any kind of shape and continues to do that back pressure, the hand will probably go at some point in the 5-round format. It'll be super impressive if Hermes is able to straighten him out off the go, off the top. I'll be super impressed because Dave Chafee is, in my mind, like I said, the strongest, by far the strongest. You know, everybody will say, "Oh, wait, what about Levon?" Well, Levon also is strong, but he has that massive size that it's hard to deal with. Dave is just pure power. So,
Yeah. And Levon also backs it up with a great deal of technique.
Yeah.
Much more technical
Yes.
prowess
Yeah.
than he's given credit for, you know. Dave,
Dave is kind of like Lupke's little brother, but he's making moves now.
starting to join it up.
little brother,
Yeah.
I'll say big
A
brother.
bit-
Come on, John. Come on, man. Back in the day, when Rich was doing his thing, when he was
I'm all about the
308.
old guys, but yeah.
When he was, I'm talking about when he was 308.
Yeah, no,
When you ripped his shoulder at the Yukon Jacks, the first Yukon
He was
Jacks.
huge. He was a big man.
That was a big man that you injured that day.
Yeah, he was a big
I
man.
didn't think that man could be beat. You remember that? You had to have some arm wrestling fear going into that match.
Faced some
Just
freaks.
to hate the thought of this might not go my way, because he was a beast then.
Faced some freaks. No doubt.
To me, still, he's the strongest guy that I thought I've ever seen at an arm wrestling table. Lupke's back then. But
The
you've been
most-
pulling these big guys
the most
now.
amazing
He
thing
would
about
know
Richard-
better than me.
When I did a series of interviews on the Supernatural Strength channel with Richard, and when Richard told me that he never trained
Nope.
for arm wrestling on an arm wrestling table in his career,
Yeah.
that's incredible. I mean, that is incredible.
When he came to Chicago, he lived just 2 miles from me. And I watched him weight train, and I had a couple guys over at his garage and pull, but he never pulled.
No. No, I said to him, so you never did a table dressing? He said, no, I didn't train on an arm wrestling table, no.
Right.
That's weird.
But he was so dominant. I mean, there was one guy that really beat him, and he's sitting beside me,
Yeah.
you know?
And the other guy who got some wins on him is also in this hotel, Gary Goodrich.
Yeah.
Great to have Gary back here. You know, it really is
Yeah,
like a
kind
gallery.
of had similar characters, and Cleve Dean could be Levon, right? I mean, big guy, hard to deal with, super strong, but not super strong, but just hard to really apply your strength against the guy
'Cause he was too
so
big, wasn't he?
He was so big.
Such a giant. Now we can't. We're only gonna be on here for another 5-10 minutes, guys. We're gonna let these guys get some rest. A lot of stuff to try and upload for the members also. we can't leave this chat without talking about the match that everybody's talking about. You've had a recent experience of Devon Larratt, and you feel like he's somewhere special at the moment.
Yeah. Bigger, thicker, rougher, coarser.
Mm.
So, like I said before, I'm a believer in the energy you put into the sport. It doesn't really show the fruit of your labor until months afterwards. So I think a lot of the time he put into preparing for Le Mans is really going to show itself. This
Suddenly
Saturday.
settled on him.
Yeah, I think he's stronger than I've ever felt him.
And enough to deal with Super Prudnik.
I don't have any
Super
experience
Prudnik?
setting up with all I know about Evgeny is what I've watched throughout the years. So no real first-hand experience knowing how explosive Evgeny can be. He seems like he's got tremendous endurance. We've seen a lot of matches where he's wound up in some tight hooks with the likes of Babayev and what have you, and has the patience to wait people out. So two factors: is he's strong enough to blast Devon, and if he's not, I think he still might be at least in the same room to talk about endurance, the long game. So I'm super excited to see the outcome of it. I think Evgeny's got chances, but he's got to be confident and hit it just right, because Devon is super solid. If he gets you pronated a little bit, if he is able to maintain his pronation, I don't think he's beatable.
And he can pull all day.
That's the thing, is will the brakes go on? That's the one, isn't it?
Right.
If he can get the brakes on at any point in those first 3 rounds, it's sort of like run for the line for Prudnik. He's got to get over that line. If he gets the brakes put on him, it turns into a war.
Yeah, if we see Devon doing the push car, smile and head shake, it's not good for Prudnik.
I feel like Yevgeny's got enormous versatility and enormous explosivity to back that up. So he can go into some weird shapes really quick. But I cannot wait for this. I think it's really exciting. It's coming at a great time. Short notice, but a great time. And it's really added an additional amount of spice to something that was an already exceptional card. Cannot wait. Now we're going to close it down.
A couple of things. Number one, Jodie Larratt come into the chat almost exactly as you started to talk about the Devon and Prudnik match.
Hey, Jodie.
She's at the Ottawa airport now. Obviously, we know we spoke to Devon earlier on. She's coming out tomorrow. We'll try and get her on again like we did last time.
Yeah, got to do that.
So we'll see you tomorrow, Jodie. John BRZENK's grandson has sent us a super chat. Cheers.
I love that.
Grandpa, are you sharing a room with anyone? They put COBRA 6 inches away from Ryan. Ryan has been eating a lot of babies. I'm scared.
Wait a minute. Does John BRZENK's grandson subbed my page?
John BRZENK's grandson, have you subbed COBRA's page? If
He
not,
must have, because I put that out there. Awesome. The GOAT's grandson subbed to Cobra Rhodes' page.
Have it.
So if you people aren't subbed there, just never mind. Forget it.
seriously, get over there, guys. COBRA's putting out some content this weekend.
Cobra's going nuts. He's on it. He's been working his ass off.
Yeah, get over there.
All day today. He's had 3 looks. Motherfucker's changed more than a Madonna concert. Literally, this morning, that was a different dude. When he came into the bloody kebab house tonight, he came and sat down. I'm like, what the? He said, yeah, got this done in the hotel. Literally sorted it out this afternoon. Left us about 5 o'clock, came back, different bloke.
I'd love to know what the chat think about these 2 guys coming over, doing an arm wars.
Let us know. Let us know.
In closing for me,
Who would they want to see?
I don't want to see him. I mean, I'll go cheer for him, but I'll never pull that again. But you guys, check out this pay-per-view. Piss on me, but the GOAT is going to be there. This is a huge celebration for our sport.
Yeah.
This package. And you know, I've said to Ingen many times, this guy's such a lover of our sport. He's so, and you did it again, man. You did it again. And he says, no, Cobra, we are doing this. Everybody who loves arm wrestling. This is what we are all doing. I don't want you to say it again. It is me, Ingen. Don't say I. I'm like, calm down, Engen.
Your impression of Engen is like way less scary than Engen's normal voice.
Of course, I'm a
You're
kind
like
of jet like
softened-
him.
Yeah.
I'm nice. I'm
so-
always nice.
Mate,
Even
you
when I'm
softened
fucking
his
you.
ass out.
I'm nice.
That threw me a little bit there.
John's grandson's in the chat. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry about that. Women and children.
can you
Jodie's
bleep
in the
that
chat
out?
as well. Jodie's in the chat. Women and
Sorry, Renee.
children. Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Apologies.
John's grandson's giving Neil a bit of stick here about
Go on.
how many press-ups can you do with that wrist?
How many press-ups? The week
How old's
before
your
I came
grandson?
out, I did 60 press-ups.
Oh my God, you're
Yeah,
old.
60 is the best at the moment.
It's not really his grandson, is it?
No.
For a second there,
No.
the way he
Yeah,
looked at
yeah.
me, I went,
He
"It's not
doesn't
really
have his own
grandson."
phone yet.
No, he's only a little dude. He's only a little dude.
I was gonna say, okay.
Yeah, I will be a little bit
So I
like
can
that,
swear again? No.
Yeah, cracker.
So, ladies and gents, we're gonna leave it there. Let these guys get some rest. They got a very big day tomorrow. We got the presser tomorrow. I got to try and rest my throat a little bit as well because at the moment I feel like I've had a very bad experience in prison. So I'm gonna probably leave that. And we'll pick it up tomorrow. We've got a lot of stuff going out for our channel members. If you're not already a member of the Arm Wars channel, you're missing out, guys. We've got a lot of stuff that goes on there that you just won't see anywhere else. Exclusive content. We'll be catching up with these guys one-to-one as well, getting a little bit of backstory and exclusive stuff that you won't see anywhere else. This is an amazing event. East versus West. It goes down tomorrow night, the presser. Saturday night, you are going to see something very special. With 15 matches of this magnitude going down in one day, it can't help but go off. Get your pay-per-view on Core Sports. Something special is happening. This is unique. Don't
Hey,
miss
can
it.
I grab up with John BRZENK on your show?
Keeps getting better. No, I gotta conserve my energy. I gotta
Yeah.
conserve my energy. So do you.
Left.
What
I
energy?
don't want to. I don't want to mess with your mental game.
Ladies and gents, thanks to everybody who's tuned in. Thanks for everybody who's super chatted. It helps us out a great deal. We will probably see you again tomorrow. A lot of stuff coming for the members. If you're not signed up, get signed up. And we'll see you soon.
Subscribe to COBRA, subscribe to John. If you've not already done so, I'm sure you already have.
And get over to Core Sports and get that pay-per-view bought.
Biggity bong.
Biggity, biggity, bong. All the fluffers.
That was fun. That was cool. I just did an
fun.
interview with the goat. I'm fucking.
See, and I'll try and close this down.
Help me out of the couch.
Some guy said in the chat.
Wait a minute.